Hey, what's up guys? Welcome back to another video in the Kotlin series. In this video, I'm going to be teaching about ranges. Welcome back everybody. So what are ranges? A range is a sequence of values that has a start and an end, and it's best if I just show you. So if I do val 1 to 5, that's just a variable name, I could then do is equal to 1 dot dot 5. And you'll see right away that you get these little hints right here that shows a little less than or equal to sign for each of these here. So what this is doing is simply representing a range of values, exactly how it looks. So it starts at 1, includes 1, and ends at 5 and includes 5 because it's less than or equal to. And this is something that's pretty unique to Kotlin. I've never seen this in another programming language, even though it might exist. It's a really cool feature that when you see how you can use it, makes a lot of sense. So if we want to, we could print this out. We'll just take a look at what it looks like. Okay, so we just get 1 dot dot 5, so that's just what a range looks like when you print it out. Kind of makes sense, I guess. So it's a weird little syntax. You just do 1, which is the start number, you do dot dot, which is how you indicate that you're creating a range, and then you do 5, which is the end number. But this is what you call an inclusive range, or otherwise a closed range. This simply means that the last number here is included in the sequence for the range, okay? So that means that you also have an exclusive range or an open range. You can make one of these by doing, let's say, val 1 to 4, for example, and you could do 1 until 4. And as you can see here, the hint is sort of telling you that it's less than rather than less than or equal to, as we see up here. So that's how you can know that the number is not included. So that's the difference between the inclusive range when you use dot dot and the exclusive range when you use until. The first number is going to be included, but the last number will not be included in the sequence, or rather the range. But there's actually a more recommended way to write this. Instead of using until, you can use until if you want to. Obviously, it's part of the language. But the updated way to do this is to dot dot and then less than. You just do it manually like that. So you're basically overriding the hints that would normally appear, and you're just telling it do less than instead of less than or equal to. If I just turn on my full syntax highlighting again real quick, I had it disabled, it will actually recommend that you do that whenever you do until. So whenever you do until, it says until can be replaced with the dot dot less than operator. So just replace it like that, and there you go. So that's just the recommended way to do that if you need to do that. So that is an exclusive range. You just don't include the last number. I think that makes sense, right? Pretty self-explanatory. There's another cool thing that you could do, which is the down to function. So this will reverse a range. So it'll simply give you a range, but in the opposite direction. So it's counting down instead of up, which kind of makes sense, right? So we could do, instead of val 1 to 5, we could do val 5 to 1, and then we could do 5 down to 1. So as it indicates, you're simply getting a range that starts at 5, includes 5, and then goes to 1, includes 1. And then you also have toList. This is another function, convert a range to a list. So we could do something like print, and we could do 1 to 5, and then toList. As the name indicates, this will take the range and convert it to an actual list for you to use. So it returns a list containing all elements. So let's go ahead and run this and see what it gives us. Should be 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, and there we go, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. So that begs the question then, what is the difference between a range and a list? They seem kind of similar, right? Because as we know up to this point, a list is just a bunch of numbers, right? But the difference is that a range is all that it is. It's a range. It's a sequence of values that has a start and an end. You're not actually storing each element explicitly. You're not storing, for this first example here, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 in your computer's memory until you do .toList, then you're going to have that. But until you do that, it's simply stored as its own type of data. So you just have the first number and then the 5. I don't know how it's actually stored, but the point is that a list is stored, every element in the list is stored one by one in your computer's memory, but for a range, you're not doing that because you're not defining every single element. You're just telling it where to start and where to end, okay? And that begs a further question, what's the point of using it then? Why would we even need a range? So one example here is with conditions, with if statements that we just learned about. So if we have val age is equal to 22, now normally we would do something like this. If age is less than or equal to, or how about this, greater than or equal to 18, and age is less than or equal to 65, then we're going to go ahead and say you are of working age. Now this is fine, this is pretty normal syntax that you would see within any language, but Kotlin gives you a way easier way of writing this using ranges. So since we are basically saying if the age is within the range of 18 to 65, then this is true, right? We could rewrite this using a range. So we could do simply age in, that's a new keyword, and then we could write a range 18 .65. Ignore the yellow. This is where I'm going to disable it. That's just showing because it's always true. There we go. So I don't know about you, but I feel like this is way better. It's way more concise. Obviously, you have less code, but also the code is a little more understandable. I think it's more clear to a human who's reading this. You just say, okay, age is in the range 18 to 65. I feel like that's way nicer to read instead of all those conditions and putting them together for a Boolean expression. So yeah, you just have this new keyword here that we just learned about, which is in. So you're saying, is the value of this variable age in the range of 18 to 65? And then we could add more to this if you want to. So we could say else if, and we could say age in 0 dot dot 17. So if they're the range 0 to 17, you are too young to work. And then we could keep going with that if we want to. We could say age in 66 to 100, you are too old. And then otherwise at the very end here, we could say invalid age, are you even human? So again, this is way more concise than what we would have to do otherwise, because we would need like two conditions or two Boolean expressions per line for each of these else ifs here, and then we have to combine them together using an and. So this already really improves our readability of our programs. You can also use them with when expressions that we learned about. So when expressions. So we could do something like val x is equal to 3, and we could say when x, and we could open this up, and we could add a condition here, or a case rather. We could do in 1 dot dot 5. So if x is in the range 1 to 5, then we can go ahead and do x is between 1 and 5, just like that. And then you could add as many as you want, of course. So 6 dot dot 10 between 6 and 10. You get the point. But yeah, you can use them with if statements, you can use them with when expressions, but these are even more powerful when we get to loops, specifically for loops. So stay tuned for that. I'll show you guys how that works. But that's pretty much all I got for you guys. Hopefully you found this video interesting like I did. Now you know about ranges in Kotlin, which is a sequence of values that has a start number and an end number. So that's it for this video, everybody. I really hope you learned something new. If you liked the video, please hit the like button, and if you want to see more, hit that subscribe button. Make sure to also check the description below for important links to code and other resources, but also really important, join our Discord. We have a big community of over 5,000 programmers, and it's a place where you can find new friends or get help on any code that you're stuck on. If you want to support what I do on this channel, please consider hitting the join button below, and this will allow you to support my channel for as low as $1 a month, but there are different tiers to choose from if you want to. For anyone that becomes a member on my channel, you get a special rank on my Discord server, early access to new videos, and you can just see yourself on the screen right now. So if that sounds cool to you, feel free to join. If you don't want to, that's fine. If you can't, that's okay too. I really just appreciate you watching the video anyway. Thank you so much. And that's it. Peace.